Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is What If Deku Could Use 100%, the second part of the story. Just want to thank you guys for all the amazing support and the fantastic support. It's absolutely bloody fantastic. Anyway, I just want to apologise. This video is coming 6 hours late because I may or may not have not done the video when I should have and ran out of time and had to go and do work and stuff. You know, all the real life scary things. So, I hope that sounded okay on camera. I was just moving my mic closer to my face. So anyway, this is part 2. I've not changed the thumbnail, so let's go do that on the fly. I probably shouldn't be doing this on the fly. So anyway, let's start off with just recapping where we got to. So, we got to where Deku was using, had just, got into UA. All Might was dead proud of him. All Might's basically going to already use 100%, and this is 100% of your own power is absolutely fantastic, because you've also got to think it's stockpiling on All Might's power. So Deku is technically stronger than Prime All Might at the minute. That's technical because Prime All Might has experience, and nothing beats experience, am I right? So anyway, it's Deku's first day at UA. Oh, I just had a sip of coffee and it was very strong. Anyway, it's Deku's first day at UA. He's walking around. He's pretty nervous because it's his first time there. He doesn't know what he's doing, and at the minute he's been used to knowing what he's doing, and a bit more because he's more confident and arrogant. But now he's like, okay, where do I go? So he's just kind of stumbling around the campus looking for his classroom. That's when, of course, he bumps into his classroom. He realizes the door's absolutely humongous, and he's like, could this be linked to people's quirks or something? I don't know. But and then he mutters to himself, and he thinks the door's pretty cool. So he opens up the door. It's surprisingly light, even though the big door should look heavy. Not that the weight of the door matters. So anyway, he opens up the door, and he's greeted by a classroom with the dude that was uptight earlier. That was the racing dude. The racing dude comes up and immediately apologizes to Deku, and Deku awkwardly and cringily goes, "No, it's alright," and Ida then follows up with, "Wow, you have some incredible power there, and you knew to take out the 0 robot, That was pretty smart." And then Deku's like, wait, I earned points for that? No, I lost points. And Ida was like, oh, why did you lose points? Well, I caused too much destruction. Then Ida awkwardly goes, well, you demolished, 2 buildings, so I guess that's kind of unheroic, but I know you didn't mean to. And that's when they both chuckle, and then a girl comes in and walks up behind Deku and goes, hey, you're that kid that saved me. Deku then shockingly, awkwardly, he's nervous. He's still, he can be confident, sure, but he's never talked to a girl before. Never. So when this girl comes up to him and he's like, oh, hey, hi, Deku, he's like, okay. Hello. And that's when basically he just mutters the whole time as Araka's just going on about thank you for saving it, and oh my god, I can't believe we're in the same class. And that is when Deku's like, oh my god, I talked to the first girl ever, I'm absolutely amazing. And Aizawa walks in like, 8 minutes. Absolutely terrible. You guys, shocking, really are. Well, no, of course he's like, oh my god, I can't, 8 minutes and you're still dilly-dallying about wasting class time. Are you really here to be heroes? And then everyone, of course, rushes to sit down, especially Deku, not wanting to be kicked out of class on the first day. Of course, I neglected to mention Bakugo, who was staring daggers into Deku, but didn't want to approach Deku because of that time he that time he risked his life trying to save him against the slime monster. He still wasn't ready to arrogantly have a go at Deku yet. that is when Aizawa starts to explain what they're going to be doing here, and that's when he mentions um, uh, uh, quirk exam, I think he called it, or just an examination. This, of course, caught the interest of Uraka, who knew that they were meant to have orientation. The whole class was also interested, but Uraka got to ask the question first. That's when Aizawa struck him back with, "Do you think a hero would get to go to an orientation?" And that's when everyone was basically quiet and, well, completely shut down by it. So anyway, uh, that's when Aizawa follows up the demand, I guess he just said, with another demand, which was go get changed. That's when they would then show where the changing rooms were. Mineta did what Mineta did. Mineta was stopped, thankfully, and everybody was put into UA hero clothes. I forgot what they're called. They're like the sports clothes, the jumpsuit clothes. I forgot what they're called. But anyway, that's when Aizawa starts to explain the first, well, I guess, challenge. The first challenge is throwing the ball. Of course, Bakugo becoming first will first show us how to throw a ball. But the difference is between any other time you've thrown a ball in junior high is that this time you can use your quirk, see how much further you can get. So Bakugo wanting to show off is like, I'm just going to throw the ball, put some sparks behind it, and get it, and win this stuff. And win this stuff? That doesn't sound right, but we'll go with it. So that's when he does that. He sparks and he gets like 600 meters or something. I don't know, something silly like that. Something really daft that's virtually impossible. Then he's like, okay, now everyone else will have a turn. Everyone else got their turn, the most memorable one being Uraka, who got infinity. Then it came up to Deku's turn. He was last, well, panicking about how much power he should put in. Then he was like, oh, I could just ask Aizawa. Then he asked Aizawa, so how much power can I put in? Then Aizawa said, don't hold back. Aizawa, of course, said this because he wants to see Deku's full strength, knowing what Deku's like and knowing his full strength. So, wait, he wants to fully understand Deku's strength. So what Deku does is he powers up his whole body, including his legs, and gets into a stance. He powers up his arm and powers up the rest of his body to 100%. Then, without moving, he asks people to stand back a couple of steps. Everyone else does, but Bakugo, out of arrogance, including Aizawa, steps back a step. This is when Deku goes for a throw. He leans backwards and gets ready to throw the ball, and pitches the ball slightly off into the air. This ball is shot at what looks like Mach 20 to anyone else, but it was around Mach 3, which is the speed of, I think it's the speed of sound, like 3 times. He's completely shocked all of the students there and wrecked about 10 meters of ground around him. So it was 10 meters of ground where he was aiming the ball in front of them. It was lucky that they stepped back because the amount of power that was coming off Deku was unimaginable. But due to the ball being shot slightly too high, it kept on going and kept on going and kept on going and kept on going until it actually broke into the stratosphere, through the atmosphere of Earth, out of the gravitational pull of Earth, and hit space. Yeah, that's right. He literally threw a ball as fast as a rocket into space. Well, no, the ball didn't make it. It disintegrated. And then that's when his score was technically infinity, because the machine that was tracking the ball, it never read the ball, so it just defacted to either 0 and infinity. But Aizawa made it go infinity, because basically what he's done is he's thrown the ball into the atmosphere. Theoretically, it would have made it to maybe space or not, actually. but it just set alight because of the speed it was going at, and it tried to left the atmosphere. So literally set a ball on fire by throwing it so quick. This shocked the entire student body that was there. So Momo, even Todoroki was shocked. Like, I can't beat that. Is this the power of the? Is this a power of just a hero? No, this isn't just a hero. He's going to be the number one hero one day. God damn. Todoroki said to himself, I've got to train harder. Is this how my dad felt? And then I'm going to cut back to Bakugo, who's feeling really, really annoyed because Deku never had a quirk before, now he does. In an instant after he realised how strong Deku's quirk was, he charged at Deku. That's when Deku went to swing like a punch at him, but only at that's when Deku goes to dodge, but we'll say Deku goes to dodge it at 2%, moving out the way of the main spot. That's when Bakugo's quirk gets turned off and he falls face first on the ground, Aizawa pulls him aside and basically says, you can't have a go at a student like that. That's not very heroic. But he's seen Bakugo's power, so he's going to keep him in for a bit, basically. So what happened is Bakugo charged at Deku before Aizawa could react. Deku moved out of the way, still being in 100%, but toned it down straight away to we'll go 3%. Yeah, we'll go 5%. But as Deku was moving, Bakugo's quirk was turned off. So when Bakugo flopped, Deku was out of the way, but Bakugo flopped because his quirk went. Bakugo got annoyed by this because, well, he wouldn't be annoyed. His quirk got turned off. Then he's like, but he realised that he could get kicked out of UA at this point, so he decides to take a surprisingly calm approach to it and said, okay, I'm sorry. To the teacher. To Deku, he just grunted at him and went back in line. As for the rest of the results, Deku couldn't go all out, so it constantly in his head he was like, oh my god, what percentage can I go without disturbing the people around me? So he went 10% for the rest of the stuff. That was enough to get him top class, of course, with speed and all that. So he was top of the class, but it wasn't the best he could personally do, because of the amount of power he was holding would just destruct everywhere he stepped, and he didn't want that. Why would he want that? Sorry, my voice is very dry today. So anyway, Deku got into class, and Mineta actually got sent home this time. This is because Aizawa heard about the stuff he did in the bathroom, didn't think he was fit to be a hero, and he came last, so he kicked Mineta out. Yeah, that's right. Mineta's not in anymore. This is when the class goes back. They have another set of normal lessons, and they get sent home. They then come back into school the next day. But before that, All Might has a talk with Deku about school life and everything, and how he did at school. And Deku said, "Well, my quirk was a little destructive because Aizawa told me to go all out. He's now banned me from that, and I want to ban myself, so I had to limit myself to 10%. But I still won. I still won, which is fun. So anyway." Then Deku and All Might talked a bit, and then Deku went home, woke up tomorrow, said hi to Araka, said hi to Ida. It's like they're a friend group now. They hung out last lunch and all, so Deku's thinking they're somewhat friends. Deku then goes home. No, Deku then goes to class, because he's at UA. He goes into class, and he has a set of normal lessons. Then he has a hero lesson, so he's like, oh, is this going to be with Aizawa? Then All Might runs in. All Might's like, I am here. And Deku's like, oh my god, it's All Might, it's All Might. And then, because of course he gets excited whenever he sees All Might. He is still a fanboy. So anyway, All Might's like, well, today we're going to be having a hero lesson. And then everyone's like, yay. So, and then someone screams in the crowd of roaring, so what are we going to be doing? And All Might's like, well, we have a little exercise ready for you. He then explains the exercise, which is, it's going to be one hero team, one villain team. Um, the hero team will be selected by random lottery, and so will the villains team. The villains will have the tactical advantage, of course, but the heroes are like heroes. So that's when everybody yells, yay, and that's when All Might also says, well, every good hero needs a costume. He points at the wall as all the costumes come out of the wall, each numbered to each student's ID. That's when Deku walks up and grabs. That's when Deku and the rest of the class walk up to grab his costume, but Deku doesn't walk up and grab the costume, and instead they all just go get changed. When Deku walks out, he's in his mother's costume, which All Might instantly realizes it's based upon him, with the mask and the smile and the obvious ears, and it's all kind of a knockoff of All Might, which All Might chuckles at, and then he's like, well, he's a worthy successor, so I'm not that bothered. At least he's carrying on my legacy, I guess. Then Uraka comes out, of course, there's that whole ordeal with a costume, and then Bakugo comes out, and they realise he's actually got hero equipment that Deku is curious about, but he doesn't say anything. So anyway, the choices are picked out of the bag, and of course the choices are the same, Deku's with Uraka, but this time some person is by themselves without Mineta, but it doesn't affect the outcome of the fight because Mineta wasn't that powerful anyway. This is when this is when Deku and so basically I'm gonna skip everyone else's results other than Deku, Uraka, Bakugo, and Ida, because they're the only one that actually changes, and there's no point talking about the rest because it don't really affect the story that much. So anyway, Deku goes in saying, "Oh, we're gonna need to work together. So, what I want you to do is make me. Can you make yourself somewhat lighter?" Uraka says, "Yes, definitely, but not for too long." Deku says, that's okay then. Do you mind if I carry you? And Uraka blushes but says yes. Deku picks her up and activates 10%. Deku is blushing right now, but what he does is he runs in, Princess holding her, at 10%, and runs in and basically starts searching the whole building. That's when Bakugo tries to sneak attack her. So what he does is he puts her to the side and takes the blow himself. This, of course, doesn't affect him too much, but it still does affect him, because you got to think he's a bit more physically durable, but he's still not too physically durable, I guess. But yeah, One for All activated, so it didn't really affect him, but it knocked him to the ground from momentum. That's when Deku starts to fight against Bakugo. So Bakugo swings at Deku, and Deku grabs Bakugo's right arm, knowing what he's going to do, activates 10% and swings him onto the ground. This, of course, completely knocks him out for the battle. That's him over and done with. Bakugo taken out that quickly, which is quite surprising. No damage is done to the building other than the floor. That's when Deku says to Uraka, "You ready again?" And Uraka nervously says yes, but then follows it up with a solid yes. Deku picks her up again and searches the rest of the building. It's not long until they find where the bomb is, and Ida's like, "Ha ha ha ha, I will protect the bomb." but in his head he's like, God damn it, Bakugo, why did you go and run off? So Ida goes and jump kicks at Deku, but then actually flukes out Deku and goes to jump kick at Uraka, but he just isn't fast enough, and Deku beats him. This has got Ida's idea in the head that he's never fast enough. This idea is what's going to motivate him to become faster than he usually would in the series. So he's going to train more. He's going to practice his techniques more, because everyone's inspired by Deku. This is the same with Uraka and everybody else. So they're going to train more, realizing that they're going to have to chalk up to Deku someday. They're going to have to try and fight against him. That is when they capture the bomb and the hero team wins, and Deku also gets MVP, but Uraka does get a bit slated for not doing anything in the battle. Right, so next, and that's when the episode ends. Yeah, I'm gonna end the episode here. Sorry this is a bit shorter than usual, and sorry it's a bit late than usual. I've been very busy recently, and I'm going to try and get a video out normal time tomorrow. I want to thank you guys if you're here at this bizarre time, and thank you guys if you're still watching. Absolutely fantastic. Love the 1,000 followers. I'm still absolutely over the moon. Have a nice evening, and goodbye. Evening? Is it evening? Yeah, it's evening. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.